In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 steps that you need to take in order to build and start selling your own digital product. And no, it's not too late to start. This is probably the best time to start selling digital products because there's so many different things you can do with them. So I'm going to take you through these 5 steps. They're going to be nice and easy to follow, and I'm going to break down a few things that maybe you haven't been aware of previously. So the first step that you need to have when you're thinking about what type of digital product to build or how are you going to sell it, first step before anything is you're going to need to have a very clear mission. Now, what do I mean by this? Depending on what your skills are, what your personality is like, what you're about, what you like and don't like, you're going to have naturally a mission that you're going to want to try and achieve. Now, for example, for me, it's going to be showing people that creating and building an online business is something that will allow you to give yourself the freedom that you've always wanted. So that's an example of a mission. For you, let's say you're an accountant, it will be something like, making financial knowledge accessible to more people. Whatever it could be, don't make it so specific to a niche. Make your mission more specific to what you value as a person, and you can tie into your skills. So that's an example. You have to be clear on your mission, because once you have that, then you can start to build a lot more around that. And you can do it in multiple different forms of digital products, in your content, in your strategy. Your mission is going to be the base for everything else that's going to come next, and in the next few steps that I'm going to walk you through as well. So be clear on that. Get your laptop out, take some notes, figure out what it is that you truly believe in, that you want to try and achieve as your mission, what you want to help people with, how you're going to provide value, what results you want to try and give them. These are all going to be the things that are going to fall under what your main mission is going to be. So think about that. That is your step 1. Step 2 is going to be that you have to be very clear and do enough market research. This is one that so many people overlook and don't spend enough time on. Market research is when you're going to now sit down, think about what your mission is and what type of people you want to help, and understand those people more than anyone else. Do research online, figure out what type of people they are, and on social media, what do they like to consume, what content are they watching, what's their pain points, what's their desired outcomes. All of these things are going to be what you have to look at when you're doing market research. Don't just think about a couple of quick things and then just start posting about it, because you need to understand them on the level that no one else around you does, because that's how you're going to be able to stand out. When you stand out, when you're able to talk to them as if you know them exactly, that's going to make them pay attention. So market research, figure out exactly what it is that they're having problems with that you're going to come in and solve. Figure out what their ideal lifestyle is like, what their ideal outcome, and how are you going to bridge that gap from where they currently are to where they need to be. That's very important. Figure out everything. Utilize your research. Do a lot of figure out what content they're watching. All of these things that I've just mentioned are going to be how you're going to utilize the proper market research. An easy way as well is if you're targeting someone who, let's say it's your old self, then like a position that you were in a few years ago and you want to try and help that type of person, then you would know them very in depth because you were in that position. So just like you would know that, you need to now think about if it's a different type of person, how are you going to know them as well as you know how you felt previously with what pains you had and things like that. Be very thorough. Use tools like AI, yes, you can, but also figure out and do the research yourself. Go and ask questions. Ask people you know. Ask people online. Comment on people's posts. Go to the comment section and see reoccurring questions or statements people are making who are in the demographic or the specific people that you're trying to target. These are things you need to do in market research. Now, the third step is going to be figure out how you're going to solve one clear problem with one clear product. This is probably the best way to start when you're looking to build your first couple of digital products. Be specific with what you're helping people achieve. If you're going to create a digital product that is very broad, you're going to compete, first of all, with way too many different types of people who have millions of followers who are targeting a general niche, All of these things are already currently happening. But if you come in and solve one clear problem for one type of person who's going to help you achieve your mission and present that in one digital product that's solving that specific problem, that's where you're going to stand out. So I've mentioned before in my videos, you don't have to be niche specific, but if you're specific on the problem you're trying to solve and you're going to help them get a clear outcome, that's where digital products are going to stand out moving forward, because there has been so many digital products that have been created over the past few years. Now, the more specific ones that give you a clear outcome are the ones that are going to perform the best. And I think a lot of people are overlooking this. People are still trying to go too broad, and you cannot do that anymore. You need to be very clear on the product you're providing and what you're actually going to give your ideal customer, what you're going to help them achieve, and then use that in your marketing. Use that in your content, in your strategy, the messaging that you figure out, the type of language that you figure out in the market research is going to be helping you figure out the type of product they would want to consume, they would want to buy, and what they'd be willing to spend. And then you're going to use their type of messaging, their language that they like to, constantly use in your marketing for this one clear product, which is going to lead me to step 4, which is advertise, and more advertise. I can't stress enough how important this is. And this is coming from experience. People do not market themselves enough and what they are selling and who they are as a person with their content. Now, when it comes to advertise, I'm talking about your social media. I'm talking about the type of content you're posting, and also things like paid ads, letting people that you know about it as well. Just try to do as many different types of advertising as you can. But it is also worth thinking about the best one or two that you relate to the most. So for example, with me, I enjoy making content, making these types of videos, teaching people. So I lean more into content. However, I have still gotten people to buy my products and my service with outreach. I've messaged people, whether it was cold outreach or warm outreach with people I know. I've had some success in that as well. So think about ways that I guess you're willing to put in the work towards, and just consistently do it. Like I said, if it's content, be sure to show up every day or every week. Be consistent with the content you're going to start to put out, and make sure it relates to your mission, the market research, what your clear product is going to be, and then keep on advertising. You see how all of these link to each other? This is why I say it's very important to just continuously advertise. Now, when I say advertise, I don't just mean always promoting your product, because people are not going to really watch your stuff or pay any attention to that. I'm talking about being very strategic with the type of content you're going to start to post. You're either going to give value and teach people something, or you're going to start to show your personality, show your ups and downs, document your journey. All of these things are going to be you indirectly advertising as well what you do, because naturally when people start to see your personality in your content, they're going to want to then see, what else do you have to offer? Is it a product? Is it a service? And then 10% of the time you might want to then start to promote the actual product in your content or in your outreach, but give value and show your personality. People are relating to personal brands more than ever now, and I've said this multiple times in my videos, and I think it's the most important time now to build yourself a personal brand, but don't just focus on selling your service, selling your product. Focus on building a good audience, a community with strong relationships of how they see you as an authority in the space. And also they can relate to you. They can see your ups and your downs and your struggles. And that's why advertising the right way, which is, I guess you want to say, the new type of marketing, is the way forward. And that's how you have to focus on this step when you're building a digital product. It's going to be being sure you position yourself the right way, and then people would want to see what you have to sell. Now, once you have focused as much as you can on building your brand and advertising, this is where you now want to start to go into step 5. Because naturally, if you do the first 4 steps that I've just mentioned, you have a clear mission, you've done your market research, you've built your one clear product, and you've advertised and you continue to do so, you're going to start to sell a lot more of what you have to offer. People are going to want to buy from you. You're going to build your audience. People are going to want to ask you more questions and then go down to your funnel and things like that. So you're going to start to see some results by doing the first 4 steps. But then there is something else you need to do in step 5. And this is going to help you scale your business and scale your digital products. It's going to be essentially to build a higher quality product, and it's going to be high ticket. Why do I say this? So you want to now, once you've sold your first few digital products, whether it's 1 or 2, if it's a low ticket, you've gotten proof of concept. People have bought what you sell because you have figured out that there is a problem in the market and people want a solution for it. You've figured out what your one clear product is going to be and people are buying it, people are liking it, you're getting your first few testimonials, things are looking good. But the next way to scale is to build something that is better quality and that you can naturally sell as a high ticket. Now, this could be things like a coaching program, a cohort, a higher ticket course, or in the future masterminds. All these things are now looked at as high tickets. Consulting and coaching, this is what I mean now. So once you have figured out that there's a clear product that's probably a little bit easier for you to fulfill, like let's say a mini course or a template or all these low ticket types of digital products, you can now put more effort into building something far better and that solves more problems for people, and then sell it for a few $1,000s, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 or more, depending on what it is you want to offer. But this is how you're going to scale your digital product business. And you need to focus on this part because this is where a lot of people don't put too much attention once they see working results. They get their first few digital products, sold. They start to make a few $1,000s a month, and then they think that they can just keep doing that, and that's it. But what you have to think about is when you just do low ticket digital products, you need volume and you need a lot of traffic, which means you have to start to put into paid ads, and you need to always make sure you're getting hundreds and hundreds of visitors to your web page that are buying your low ticket offer. That it just becomes a game of always having to consistently get new customers who are buying your low ticket thing. But if you start to look at a way where you can build something that is more high quality and you can sell for a much higher price, you can now focus on delivering and building a really good quality product that maybe a more qualified type of person can buy, but because you're delivering a better result. If you're delivering a better result and solving more problems of what your ideal customer has based on your market research, then they're going to be willing to pay more. The bigger the problems that you solve, the more you can charge for it. So you have to look at your first few low ticket digital products as proof of concept and showing that, okay, there is more potential in this market in what you're selling, and then now figure out ways how you can help people solve more problems in that specific direction and charge more. And at the same time, if you have something that is higher quality and more high ticket, you don't have to focus on just the volume of customers. You can focus on still getting a good amount of people, but because you're charging such a higher amount, you can just focus on the quality of people, making sure they're the right fit, and then also delivering a very high quality product. So that's another point that people need to start to focus on when building a digital product business. And these are the most important 5 steps, I would say, for someone, whether you're just starting out or whether you have been selling and seeing success with your digital products, but you want to take things to the next level. You have to look at all these steps and make sure you're doing it in the right way. Make sure you have a clear mission. Make sure your market research is detailed enough. And look at your product. Is it solving one clear problem and giving us a clear solution? And then are you advertising enough? And then you look at, how can I charge more for this? How can I build something that's better? So no matter what stage of the journey in your digital product business you're at, these 5 steps will be relevant for you, especially step 5, because this is where you're going to be able to scale, make more money, charge more, and grow your business. Start hiring more people if you want to build a team, and if not, that's fine too. You can manage to scale a 1-person business if you structure it the right way. Now, what you're going to need to do when you're building a proper digital product and you want to scale your business, you need to make sure you've dialed in and you've created a very high converting landing page. And if you're not sure how to do that, Click on this video here, watch the breakdown, and that'll help you also create the right thing and the next steps for your digital product business. Hope this helps, and I'll see you on the next one.